please be sure you all have access to your Gmail ID, because we are going to use Gmail ID for as a login credential for the software which we are going to teach you. So good evening, everyone. My name is Prateek Agarwal. I'm the founder of Makers Duniya. Makers Duniya is one of the first and the only edtech startup in Uttarakhand who's giving experience to the users of learning by doing with hands-on practical activities. So at Makers Duniya, for the past 6 months, we have been running a lot of online courses which are inclined towards 21st century skills. That means we are making our students ready for the 21st century jobs. And on the screen, you can see the variety of courses that we are offering for different age groups. And every month, we used to organize Maker for Change webinars, where some selected students from our Makers Dunya community get the chance to take their work, to take their innovation, to share their content and the idea with all the students from Pan India. I would just say Pan World. So recently I want to also share a news with you. We have won one of the world's largest app development hackathon, which was hosted by MIT App Inventor, where approximately 190 countries with 350 applications participated, and we were the only company or only edtech startup from India who was able to win this international hackathon. So those who are not aware about MIT, MIT stands for Massachusetts Institute of Technology, which is considered as the world's best university for technical courses. If you are fascinated about robotics, so top two companies of robot development has been found by the alumni of MIT. Even agencies like NASA, FBI, and all, they are hiring MIT graduates for their work. So it's one of the best college of the entire world, and we won the hackathon initiated by that college. Now, I would like to introduce you to two of our young makers, Simone Miller and Aaradhaya Choudhury. Simone Miller is a grade 4 student from Gyananda Girls School, Dehradun. And Aaradhaya Choudhury, she's also a grade 4 student from Convent of Jesus and Mary. They are quite good friends, and they have been learning Android app development from the past 2 months along with Makers Dunya. And today they are going to share their application called Check BMI, and they will actually teach you how to create that app on your system, which you can easily download in your Android phone, right? So Aradhya and Simon will give you a better introduction about BMI, what is BMI and all, and how to create this application. And we really hope you will follow their instructions. For any questions, for any queries, you can use the chat box. If you have any doubt, your questions and answers will be your question will be answered in the chat box. You can ask your queries in the chat box, and you can follow the instructions which Aradhya and Simon will going to teach you. So now I over the session to Simone. She will teach you how to create your account on MIT App Inventor. So Simone, you can take over the session and you can share your screen.
Yes, sir.
So I request everyone to follow Simone's instruction.
Thank you, Prateek, sir. Good evening, everyone. Let's begin today's session with opening an account on MIT App Inventor. I'll guide you through step by step. Step 1. Open any browser. Type MIT App Inventor. Now click on the first link or icon. Step 2. You see an icon named Create App. Please click on this to move on. If you're with me, please drop a Y in the chat box for yes. And if you want me to wait, please drop an N in the chat box for me to wait. Moving on, step 3. If you already have an account, please log in. If you don't, just click on use another account, then put your email or phone number. Click on the next button.
Simone, can you repeat that entire process again?
Yes, sir. So if you have an account, then just click on it to log in. And if you don't.
Simone, from the very first slide, there
Okay, sir.
are some participants who have missed the first section.
Yes, sir. So step 1, open any browser, type MIT App Inventor. Then click on the first link or icon. Step 2, you will see an icon named as Create Apps. Please click on this to move on. And if you're with me, please drop a Y in the chat box. And if you want me to wait, please drop an N. Moving on to step 3.
Simone, you can wait for them.
Yes, sir.
So if you guys are on the MIT App Inventor as told by Simone, you can drop a Y for yes. And if you want us to wait, then you can drop N for no.
So can I begin?
Yes, you can, Simone.
Now moving on to step 3, if you already have an account, please log in. And if you don't, please click on use another account. Then put your email address or your phone number.
Could you wait for a second? Some are writing N.
Yes.
So guys, once you log in with your Gmail account, once you have access to MIT App Inventor, kindly drop a Y. That will give us your confirmation. We request everyone to quickly make their account on the MIT App Inventor.
Aaradhaya, all sorted?
Yep.
Okay. So if you don't have an account, just click on use another account. Put your email or phone number. Then click on the next button. Then put the password of your email address. Moving on to the step 4. If you're a newcomer, you will get this page, Terms of Service. Please click on the button which says, I accept the terms of service. Step 5. It will take you to this page, blank screen. Click on the Start New Project button. Which is right over here at the top of your screen. Now, step 6. We will name our project as check_BMI. Don't forget to put underscores as MIT App Inventor does not allow gaps between two words. If you're with me, please drop a Y in the chat box. And if you want me to wait, please drop an N. And if any query, please drop them too in the chat box. Moving on to step 7.
You should wait for a second.
Okay, Aaradhaya.
Yeah, move on.
Yeah. Moving on to step 7. Please do not annotate on the screen. Step 7. Here you have a checkbox pop-up. Please click on continue and also check the box so it does not pop up again when you open MIT App Inventor. With this, we have created an account. I now hand over the designing of our app to my colleague Aaradhaya. Aaradhaya, you may please take over.
Thank you, Simone. So good evening, everyone. As sir introduced me, my name is Aaradhaya Choudhury. Today we are going to make a check BMI app that is basically a BMI calculator. So BMI, without BMI, we can know if we are underweight or healthy, overweight or obese. If a person is overweight or obese, then they can do exercise or dieting to reduce their weight and the risk of health diseases. Its ratio is of our weight to our height. So now let's get started. As Simone told you how to log in the MIT App Inventor, just choose an account and you must have already created a project. So to open the project, just click on the project. If this screen must have appeared on your desktops or any other device, then please drop a Y in the chat box and N if not.
Aaradhaya, please wait for a while as one person has written N.
Okay. Please stop annotating. Please stop annotating. I can see your name here.
Aaradhaya annotating.
Okay, let's move ahead. Now, in the as there are two sides of a coin, in the similar way, they're both designing and coding to make an app. So I'm going to get you through the designing part. In this window, you can see 4 sections. This is the designing window, and you can see here 4 sections. The first one is the palette section. The second is viewer. Third is component, and fourth is properties. The first palette section, there you can find multiple components that you can use in your app. And if you drag any component and put it on the dummy phone, here you can see, then this dummy phone, here you can find your component. Like if I put a button, then here I can find a component in my component section. And this dummy phone is in the viewer section. So this will give you a look at how the app will really look in the real phone. And in properties section, you can change the property of different components. If suppose I have put these components and I want to change the property of checkbox, then I can change the properties here. I'll just click on the checkbox one and I will change the properties. If I want to delete checkbox one, then I can click here. There are two buttons here. You can see two buttons here. One is rename and another is delete. So here, if you click on delete, then here it'll ask for warning. Are you sure you want to delete? I'll delete it. So it'll be permanently deleted. Now, if I want to rename the button 1, I can click on rename and enter its new name. If I want to type calculate any name, I can rename it. Like calcu. I want to rename it any name I can give. So I'll delete this two, and if I want to delete the image one, I can delete it like that. So now, if you're ready to start, so let's start. Come on. On screen one, here in the properties section, you can see many properties. So please follow the steps I will tell you. The third component, align horizontal. Then you make the alignment to center. How to make it? Just click on the drop down and select center. The same with align vertical. Click on the drop down and select center. Now we have to change the background color of the screen. So here you can see background color just below the app name. There's a white square, white rectangle. So click on that and you'll find a list of colors. Select orange. You can select any of your favorite color. Now go down and here you can see the fourth last component is title visible. Make that uncheck. So if I make it check, then you can see screen one.
Aaradhaya?
Yeah.
Aaradhaya, could you please repeat, because someone said please repeat in the chat box.
Okay. So I'll again repeat the properties. Align horizontal to center. Align horizontal will be center. Align vertical will be center. And how to do that? Just click on the center part and you can select any one, but I prefer center. Then background color will be to orange. And you have to do title visible to uncheck. Now put a label. Here you can see label in the user interface. Put a drag and drop the label on the dummy phone. If you're done till here, please drop a Y in the chat box. And if you want me to wait, then drop N.
Aaradhaya, please continue.
Okay. Moving on. Label 1. Now we are going to change the properties for label 1.
Aaradhaya, Sonakshi is saying that can you repeat all the steps once again?
Okay, please see carefully. Align horizontal will be to center. Align, and repeating the properties of screen 1. Align horizontal to center. Align vertical to center. Background color will be orange. Background color will be orange. And title visible will be uncheck. Okay, I hope you get it. Now let's come back to the properties of label 1. Click on label 1 and you'll find its properties. Now, let's set the label 1's color as turquoise or cyan. Let's make it font bold. Here is the second property. It's font bold, so make it check. Now, I cannot see the label properly, so I want to increase its size. Now, in the fourth component, fourth property, under the property section, you can see font size. Do that font size to 28. Now it's crystal clear. Let's make the width to fill parent. Width is the fifth last component in the property section. Make the width to fill parent. So it will cover the whole screen.
Aaradhaya?
Yeah.
Can you repeat the points again? Because Sonakshi and Anuradha, they could not understand the point. And you can just slow down your speed.
Sir, of screen 1, properties.
Let me ask Sonakshi and Anuradha, can you please let me know which step has to be repeated again? Sonakshi and Anuradha, can you please let us know which step has to be repeated? Anuradha is asking for the properties of label. You can repeat the properties of label, Anuradha.
Yes, sir. Could you repeat?
Can you hear me, Radhya? You can
Yes,
repeat
sir.
the properties of the label.
Label. Okay. Fine. Label will be font bold, check. Font bold is the second property. The first property is background color, that will be cyan or turquoise. Now, font size, that is a fourth component, property will be 28 in size. Width will be fill parent. Width is the fifth last property. It will be fill parent. Then text for label 1. Let's write the text as calculate caps lock BMI. Calculate BMI and then press the enter key. Now I don't want this text to appear on the left side, so I want it to be center. Now just below the text you have text alignment. The text alignment will be to center. Now if everyone has done till here, please drop a Y, and if you want that I will wait, then N. Okay, I'll wait for some time. Do you want me to repeat anything? Please write X if you want me to repeat anything. X for explain. Okay, Riza Siddiqui, what do you want me to explain? Label 1 properties or screen 1? Okay. Okay, I will tell you again.
One second. Sorry.
Sir,
Samira,
can I tell again that how
so
to...
that we are constrained on time. Till then, I request Samira, the session has been live on the YouTube page. Okay, it will be uploaded over there. You can check the entire session once again on our YouTube channel. Right, I will share the link of that YouTube channel with you. You can have a look over there.
Okay, sir.
Right? You can continue
Okay.
right there, and then you can repeat the properties of screen 1 and label quickly for the Riza.
Okay, okay. Screen 1, the third property, align horizontal to center. Align vertical, the fourth property, to center. How will you do it? If it's by default, it is left and top. So click on that left and make it center. And click on the top and make it center. Now, background color of screen 1 can be orange. It can be of your choice also. And title visible is unchecked. Label 1, the background color will be cyan. It will be font bold, check the second property. Font size will be 28, the fourth property. And the fifth last property, width will be fill parent. The text will be calculate BMI. Calculate BMI. And the text alignment will be to center. If you have done, please drop a Y in the text box. I mean in the chat. Okay. Now, moving on. We will put a vertical arrangement. To bring that on your screen, what you have to do is that you have to click on this layout button. Can you see the layout button? So you have to click on the layout button. If you click here, then you can see horizontal arrangement, horizontal scroll arrangement, table arrangement, vertical arrangement, and vertical scroll arrangement. If you find the layout button, then please drop a Y in the chat box. Okay, that's good. Now, here the fourth component of the palette. Fourth component, drag and drop it on the screen, the vertical arrangement. Drag and drop it on the dummy phone. Now, we are going to change the properties of vertical arrangement. Align horizontal will be left. Align vertical will be top. Then background color, let's make it none. How to do it? The same thing. Just click on the rectangle and make it none. Now width. How to do width? Just click on that automatic button and make it fill parent and OK. So if you are done, please drop a Y. Okay. Now we'll go back to the user interface. To go there, we have to click again on this user interface button. So let's click there, and you can find again the same list appeared that was earlier by default there. Now you drag and drop. Okay. Again go to layout. Sorry for the guidance. You again go to layout and drop one table arrangement. The table arrangement is the third component. Drop a table arrangement and then drop a horizontal arrangement just below it. Please follow. Drop a table arrangement and a horizontal arrangement. The horizontal arrangement should be inside the vertical arrangement and below the table arrangement. So both the table and horizontal will be inside the vertical arrangement. If you have done till here, please drop Y. Okay, moving on. Now we are going to change the properties of the table arrangement. Either you click the table arrangement on the dummy phone or you can click on the component section to change the properties. Now the properties can be, columns will be 2, height will be automatic, width will be fill parent, width will be fill parent, and make sure you click on OK. Then horizontal arrangement changes are as follows. Make the background, align horizontal as center. Align horizontal will be center. Align vertical will be also center. And background color will be none. I hope you know how to do background color changes. Now we will change the width to fill parent as we did in the table arrangement. Width will be fill parent. Now this is the very crucial step. Please see for it carefully. Click on the table arrangement. And now you drag a label and drop it in the first box. In the table arrangement, you can see 4 boxes. First is this one, second, third, and fourth. So drop it in the first box. Please follow. Then drop another label just below the label 2. Just below the label 2. If you are done till here, please drop a Y in the chat box. Okay. Next. Now drop a text box. Text box. Drop it in the just adjacent to the label 2. See, like this. And drop another text box just below the text box 1. The text box is the third last component in the component section. I mean the palette section. The third last component. Drop it like this and your screen should look like this. Okay. Now the label 2, you have to do the property changes. So either click the label, either click the label here in the component section or on the dummy phone. Now in label, we are going to do the changes as follows. Background color will be yellow. Then it will be font bold. Font size will be 24. 24. And click on enter. Width. Now instead of keeping it fill parent, we will keep it in percentage. We will keep it in percentage, the width. Let's keep the width as 70%. 70%. Now, if everyone has done till here, please drop a Y in the chat box. Okay, I'll wait for you, Sonakshi Negi. Okay. If you want me to explain again, then you can just drop X. Okay, I'll explain again the property changes of label 2. Background color will be yellow. Background color will be yellow. Just click on the rectangle and select yellow. Then font bold will be checked. The second component in the property section. Font size will be 24. Font size will be 24. Then width will be 70%. How to make that? Click on width and by default it is automatic. Click on the circle percentage and make it 70%. And now I will change the text for label 2. Please be with me. Let's change the text to of label 2. Right, enter your height in your height in meters and enter. You will be seeing that your label 3 and label 2 will be overlapped, but in the real app in your phone, it will come properly. The MIT App Inventor just wants you to provide space to you so that you can keep maximum things on your dummy phone. Now we will do the property changes for label 3. I was on label 2 now, so I will click on label 3 here. And I'm going to do the property changes. Background color will be green. Now, if you're done till here, please drop a Y in the chat box. Okay. Fine. Now, font bold will be check. Font bold, check. Font size will be 24. The same property changes, just the background color and the text will differ. Then, make the width to 70%. 70%. Okay. Make sure you click on OK. Then we are going to change the text to enter your weight in kilograms. Enter your weight in kilograms. Hit enter. Please stop annotating. Now we change text box 1 properties. If everyone is done till here, please drop a Y. Okay, let's proceed. Now, the text box 1, background color will be default. Font bold, check. The third property this time. Font bold will be check. Font size will be 24. The fifth property, 24. The font size will be 24. Then enter. Width, this time we will keep 30%. Now, what is hint? What's hint for text box? Like in the chat, before you type, you will observe that there is something coming like type your message here. And that too in green color. So that's the hint for you that you have to type your message here. So here also we will give a hint, and the hint will be enter height. Enter height. And the text alignment, that is the third last component, property, will be to center. Text alignment to center. Now text box 2. If everyone is done till here, please drop a Y. Okay. Let's move ahead. Text box 2, the same changes, just the hint will differ. Instead of enter height, it will be enter width. So let's do the same changes. Font bold will be check. Font size will be 24. Enter. Width will be in percentage 3030. 3030. And hint for text box 2 will be enter, wait, and do it, enter. And the text alignment, that is the third last property, will be to center. Now we will go to horizontal arrangement. In horizontal arrangement, we will drop two buttons. We'll drop two buttons. Now, if you have done till here, please drop a Y in the chat box. If you're done till here, please drop a Y in the chat box and N to let me know that I will wait. Okay, I'll explain again. Ashish Kumar. For button 1 and button for text box 2, the properties will be same. Font bold check, font size 24, width will be 30%, and hint will be enter wait. And now in the horizontal arrangement, drop two buttons. Drop two buttons. I hope it's now clear. Now, font of the button 1, we're changing the properties. Font bold check, font size will be 18. Width will be 48%. 48%. And make sure you click on OK. Text for button 1 will be calculate. Now, if we make our app flamboyant and colorful, then it will be more eye-catching and attractive. So I think we should give the color to this button as, let's give as violet or purple, any one of them. Okay, now black text isn't looking good with this color. So we'll change the color, text color, to white. How to do that? Just below the text alignment, the second last property is text color. So change it to white. If you are done till here, please drop a Y in the chat box.
Aaradhaya, you can continue.
Okay, moving ahead. For text, but for button 2, the properties will be same. Just take background color and the text will differ. Now background color will be to, let's keep it magenta now. Background color, let's keep it magenta. Font bold, font size will be 18, 18. Width will be 30%, 30%. 48%. Sorry for that, 48%. And the text will be try again. You can also write retry. And text color will be white. Now, if you are done till here, please drop a Y in the chat box. Okay, let's continue. Now, I'm going to put a vertical arrangement. Now, the same thing, go in layout. You know where layout is, so just click on layout. Here you go. Now you can drag and drop vertical arrangement, not vertical scroll arrangement. It's the second Last component, vertical arrangement. Now, in the vertical arrangement, make the align horizontal to center. Align horizontal will be center and align vertical will be top. It's top this time. Background color will be none. Background color will be none. And width and height. This time width and height both will be fill parent. Both will be fill parent. If you're done till here, please drop a Y. Okay, I'll explain again. Vertical arrangement, align horizontal to center.
Just give me a second. Ashish, can you let me know which point you want to explain? Because I've been noticing you are like typing X after almost every sentence which Aaradhaya tells. Yes, Ashish, please be more specific. Which point has to be repeated again?
Okay, I will repeat the vertical arrangement.
They can repeat the vertical arrangement quickly. And I request Ashish to please be attentive in the session because we have to finish this within the time limit.
Okay, align horizontal will be to center, align vertical will be top, height and width. Both will be fill parent. Moving on. Now, let's go to the user interface again. Click here, user interface. Okay, and after clicking on user interface, drag and drop two labels. Drag and drop two labels. This will be label 4 and 5. Now for label 4, let's make the property changes. Font bold, check. Font size 20. Please stop annotating.
Harpreet, we can easily expel you from this meeting, right? Because once you annotate, your name appears on the screen. Is that right, Harpreet?
Okay. Now I continue. After doing the font size as 20, make the width as fill parent. Now the text will be your calculated. I'm really sorry for the spelling error. Calculated BMI is and then colon. Your calculated BMI is and then colon. And bring the text alignment to center. Bring the text alignment to center. If everyone is done, please drop a Y in the chat box. Okay. Now, a little bit change in the vertical arrangement. The height you can do to automatic. The height you can do to automatic. Now, let's change label 5. Make it font bold, same changes. Font size will be 20. Width can be fill parent. Text will be black and text alignment to center. I'm again repeating. Font bold, font size 20. Width will be fill parent and text will be empty and text alignment will be center.
Okay. Aaradhaya?
Yeah.
Will you be changing the names of the components you used?
Yeah, I'll be.
Okay.
Okay, so now let's move on. We will change the name of components so that it will be more easy for you to do in the coding part. Let's change of text box 1 and rename it to height text box. Height text box. It will be height text box. Height text box. And text box 2 will be weight text box. Weight text box. Now we are going to rename these buttons. Button 1 and button 2. Button 1, the calculate button, rename it to tap to calculate. Tap to calculate. And button 2, rename it to, I hope you know how to rename. Rename it to, you can rename try again. Try again. Now we'll make a little bit spacing. Put a horizontal arrangement between calculate BMI and the vertical arrangement like this. And nothing changes except the height. Height will be 30 pixels, 30 pixels. And make the background color to none. If you're done till here, please drop a Y in the chat box. Okay, that's good. Now we'll drop one horizontal arrangement here, and we will make its percentage, and we'll make the pixel form as 10. The height will be 10 pixels. So now you will just background color, make it none. And voila, we completed the designing part. To go to the coding part, click on the blocks. Here you can see on the right top corner, blocks. Click on blocks and then you will be on the coding window. Now I hand over the session to Simone, who will get you through the coding part.
Thank you, Aaradhaya. Hello, everyone. Simone here again. And I will be teaching you the coding or blocking of our app, without which the app isn't functional. Without wasting any further time, let's get started. This is the screen where we are going to be doing the coding. I will introduce the new participants to our coding components. Let's begin. Now, we'll be taking some variables. On the left side of your screen, you will get a whole list of the components you used. Now, the second button will be variables. Just click on that and take the first block, which is initialize global name 2. Just drag it and drop it on the screen. Now, I will be teaching you how to duplicate a block. Just right click on any block. You will get a shortcut menu. Just click on duplicate. Here it is. Now let's duplicate 2 more. Here we go. Now, the first variable will be named as weight. If you are all on the same page, please drop a Y for yes. And if no, please drop an N in the chat box. And if any queries, please drop them in the chat box too. Okay, so now moving on, I'll be going to the second variable and I'll be renaming it as height. Now, the third variable as height underscore square. And the last variable as BMI, which stands for body mass index. If everyone is done, please drop a Y in the chat box. So now, from where we have taken variables, the third option is math. We're just going to click on that. We get a whole new menu of blocks, which are blue in color. Now we're going to take the first block, which is the digit 0. Just attach it to the first initialize global weight 2. You will be getting a click sound. The click sound indicates to the attachment of the 2 blocks. Always remember, when you connect 2 blocks, there is always a ticking sound that assures the blocks have been connected. And if you don't get the clicking sound, that means that you have used the wrong block or you have to attach the block once again. Now let's duplicate the 0 digit and attach it to all the 4 variables. If you're with me, please drop a Y in the chat box. And if you want me to wait, please drop an N in the chat box. Okay, so moving on.
Simone, could you wait for a second? Sonakshi Negi has dropped N.
Yes, I'll just wait.
Aaradhaya Bahuguna wants you to repeat.
Okay, so Aaradhaya, could you please tell me what should I repeat? Aaradhaya, you can unmute your mic and you can tell me.
It's another Aaradhaya.
Can we move on, Aaradhaya?
Can you please tell what we have to do after we have named all these 4?
Okay, so after that, from where you have taken variables, at the top, the third will be math. So when you just click on that, there'll be a whole menu of blue blocks. So just take the first one, which is the digit 0, drag it and connect it to all the 4 variables. Then you'll get a clicking sound. That means that the blocks have been connected. Can we move on, Aaradhya?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Okay. So now we're going to scroll down and we're going to find the try again button. Just take the try again button. Take the first block, which is when try again dot click do. Take it and drag it to your screen. After that, right at the bottom, you will have BMI in numeric format. Click on that. Then we will be getting set BMI in numeric format dot text. Just drag that and connect it below the button. I'll just get that in the center so that it's easier for you to see. Now we're going to scroll all the way up, and the fourth option below math is text. We're going to just click on that. You'll get a whole new list of blocks in the color pink. Just take the first block, which is an empty text string. Just drag it and drop it near.
Simone, sorry to interfere. Rishit Sharma is telling that I'm not getting BMI. Please tell again. Sorry to disturb.
Yes. Yes, Rishit, you're not getting this initialized global one?
Rishit, I think BMI in number format in your screen will be label 5.
Yes, since Aaradhaya has renamed it, that's why I can see it like this. But if you're not renamed, then it won't be the same.
Label 5, if you want, you can rename it BMI number format. Well, it is label 5 in your screen, I suppose.
That will make it easier to remember. So that's why I usually rename it. Now, moving forward, we will be finding the height text box. So just click on that. Scroll down until you find set height text box dot text 2. Just connect it below the set BMI in number format or as label 5. Scroll all the way up, find the text. Click on it. The first block, just drag it and drop it right here. I just love the clicking sounds, don't you? It's so satisfying. Now, we're just gonna duplicate this to make our work easier. Just connect that below it. And we're going to make this height text box. You'll see a downward arrow. Just click on that and make it weight text box. The coding for this button is complete. Now let's do the largest coding in this. Below variables, you will see procedures. Just click on procedures. Take the first block, which is to procedure do. It's purple in color. Now just drag it and drop it on your screen. Now, these 4 variables will be used. So, the first variable we're going to be using is, just keep your cursor on the height variable. Then you'll see 2 blocks, such as get global height and set global height 2. Just get the set global height 2 and drop it right below the to procedure do. Now, we're going to scroll down and we will find our height text box. And we're going to get the light green color, as I just love the light green. So now we're just going to get this and attach it right over here. I'll repeat the block, height text box dot text. It's light green in color. Now, we're just going to duplicate this to make our work easier. Right over here. Now, the set global height will become set global weight, and height underscore text box will become weight underscore text box. Now, we're going to go to our variables right over here, the 4 variables we made, and keep your cursor on height underscore square. Now we're going to get set height underscore square 2. We're going to scroll all the way up, go to math, the third one, and we're going to find a multiplication block.
Simone, Rishit Sharma wants to repeat he wants that you can repeat the procedure again.
Okay, so the whole thing or just the purple block, the procedure one?
The procedure one.
Okay, so we go to procedures just below variables, and we're going to take the first block, which is to procedure do. We're going to drag it and drop it right over here. Then we're going to use our 4 variables. The first variable we'll be using is set global height 2. Just keep your cursor on the variables and you will get 2 blocks such as get and set. So just drag the set variable, set global height, and attach it right over here. Then scroll down and you have your height text box. Now keep scrolling until you find the light green height text box dot text. Since I love light green, I'm using that. So we're just going to attach it over there. Height text box dot text. Now to make our work easier, we're just going to duplicate this and connect it right below it. Now you see this downward arrow? Just click on it and turn set global height to set global weight. The light green block will also be turned into weight text box. Now we will be placing our cursor on the height square variable and we're going to get set global height underscore square and drag it right over here. After that, we're going to scroll all the way up, go to math, third option, scroll up, and we're going to get the multiplication block. We're just going to attach it right over there. And we're going to go to our height variable, get global height, attach it in the first. If you're with me, please drop a Y in the chat box. And if you want me to wait, please drop an N in the chat box. And if any queries, please drop them too in the chat box. Moving ahead, we're going to go back to height, get global height, and attach it into the second block too. Now we're finally going to use our initialize global BMI 2. Now just keep your cursor on that and get set global BMI 2. Attach it right below it. We're going to go back to math and we're going to scroll all the way down. And the third last option. Okay, so the third last option is format as decimal number places. If you found it, please drop a Y in the chat box. Now we're going to drag it and attach it right over here. Now we're going to go to initialize global BMI, place our cursor on it and get global BMI. We're going to put it in the first connector. Now the second connector is empty. So we're going to go back to math. We're going to scroll all the way up and take the first block, which is the blank 0 digit. Now we can change the text of the blank 0 digit. We're going to type 2 in it. So now we're going to go to set global BMI and place it below it. Now back to math. We're going to take a division block. And if you don't find a division block, don't be surprised, as the division block is just below the multiplication block. The division block in MIT App Inventor is different than we use in our math sums. So now we're going to use our get global weight in the first connector, and in the second connector, get global height square. Right over there. I'm just going to scroll a bit down so that you can see the coding. Now we're going to take an if-then case. Go to control, the first option, take the third option, which is if-then else, and just place it below the set global BMI 2, the orange block. Now we'll be going to math, taking the equals to block and placing it right here. you will see a downward arrow. So just click on it. You have options, many options. So just click the third option. Now we're going to go back to our variables and we're going to get global BMI and attach it in the first one. Since we'll be needing the variables, I'll just keep it below the procedure. Just gonna keep them over there so that it's easier for me to take them whenever needed. So after that, I'll be going to math, taking the 0-digit block. Now I'll be changing text to 18.5, 18.5. If you're done till here, please drop a Y in the chat box. Any queries, please drop them too. And if you want me to wait, please drop N in the chat box. Okay, moving ahead, I'll be adding.
Arshia is writing N.
Okay, Arshia, I'll just wait for you. When you complete it, please tell me. Does anybody else want me to wait? Or
Okay, Arshia's done.
okay, so I'll be continuing. So I'll be scrolling all the way down and finding the BMI in numeric format label. Now I'll be taking the BMI in numeric format dot text and attach it right over there. Now you may see this X, this close one. Now that's the error code. Here, left bottom on our screen is error indicator. Something wrong with coding. It shows here to identify and rectify. If I click on show warnings, it'll show me that this block needs to have an attachment over here. Now I click on hide warnings, so it'll not show the warnings. But now since I'm getting a warning, so I'll just attach something. I scroll up, go to text. I scroll up and take the second block, which is the join one, and attach it right over here. Then I'm gonna get global BMI and attach it in the first block. Now I'm gonna go back to text. Please stop annotating, or otherwise I'll be changing the settings so that the animators will be visible. So if you are animating, please do not animate. So I'm going to take the first block and drag it and drop it in the second connector. And first I'm going to be putting a dash. Then I'm going to be typing Vansh Sharma. Please stop animating on the screen. Everyone, please stop animating as it is very disturbing. Okay, so after that, I'm just going to be typing you are underweight. You are underweight. If everyone is with me, please drop a Y in the chat box. If any queries, please drop them too. Okay, I'll be continuing. Now I'm going to go to the second option, which is logic. And I'll be taking the fifth block, which is and I'm going to drop it else if. Now to put in the first connector, I will be taking the math. Going to math, taking the equals to block and attaching it in the first connector. This may be a little confusing for the newcomers, but don't worry, I'm going to be taking slow and steady. So after you attach this equals to block in the first connector, click on the downward arrow and take the last option. I'll just wait for everyone. So now I'll be continuing. Now I'll be get global BMI and place it in the first connector. Now I'm going back to math, taking the first block, connecting it in the second connector, not of the logic block, but the math block. Now I'll be typing 18.5, 18.5. Now the second connector is blank. So I'll be putting, let's go back to math. Let's take the equals to block, attach it over here, click on the downward arrow and take the third option. Now I'm going to math for the first block and I'm gonna get that in the second connector and I'm gonna be typing 25. The first connector is empty, so I'll be getting get global BMI. And it connects itself so well. I just take the block near it and it just connects it automatically. It's like it has magnet in it. I am so impressed by MIT. So now if I have this then case, so now I'll be scrolling the whole way down. BMI in numeric format dot text 2, just get that and place it right over there in the then case. Now I'll just be going back to text, getting the join block and attaching it over here. I'm doing this for the newcomers, but if you're very familiar with MIT App Inventor, then you can just duplicate this block. But don't forget to change the text right over there. So I'm gonna get global BMI and attach it in the first block right here. Then I'll be going back to text and taking the first one, attaching it in the second connector right over here. Now I'll be typing first a dash, then you are healthy. For the newcomers, this code must start to be making sense now, right? So after then, I need another if case, else if case. So I'm just going to be clicking on this button. You may be wondering what is the button called? It's called a mutator. It allows us to add more and more of codes in our block. More and more of blocks in our code. Sorry. So after that, I will go to logic, the second one, take the fifth block, which is and. Then I think I should just copy it, but no, I want to do it the hard way. So I'm going to go to math. I'm going to take the equals to block, attach it in the first connector. Now this may not be so confusing for the newcomers because we've already done it once right over here. And if you still have some questions, please drop them in the chat box. And if no questions, please drop a Y so that I can continue. Aaradhaya, could you please inform me if there are any questions or any N's or Y's?
Yeah, they are Y's. I'll tell you if they are N's.
Okay, Aaradhaya, thank you. So after that, I'm just gonna get global BMI, attach it in the first connector of the math block. Oh dear, I forgot to change the equals to. So I'm just gonna click on the downward arrow and change it into the last option. Now over here, since I don't want to do so much, I'll just be duplicating the 25 from here. Yes, I duplicated it. Less work. So I'm just gonna attach it in the second connector of the math block. Let's hard work and smart work too. So this connector is empty. So now since I don't want to do it so much, I'm just gonna duplicate this too. Don't tell anyone. Then I'm just cheat codes. So I'm just gonna change this into the third one. And since this is 25, I'm just gonna change it into 30. And now I'll just duplicate this too. After that, I'll do the hard working. So I'll be typing, you are overweight. You are overweight. I'll just be waiting for everyone as this is a very long code and I know it. Everyone must be saying, when will this end? Aaradhaya, are there any N's in the chat box?
No.
Okay, so let's continue. I want another else if case. So I'm just gonna go there, click on the mutator and put it right over here. There we go. Easy yet simple. So I'll just duplicate it from here. As I like to smart work, not hard work. So after that, I'll just let this be the last option and the 25 will be 30. Then I have this then case and else case. So I'll just fill up the then case first. So I'll just go to the last option, which is BMI in numeric format dot text 2. Attach it right over there. Get the join. I'm just going to duplicate it from here to make my work easier. And I'm going to make it dash. You are obese. Now, since I don't need the else one, I'm just gonna make this a bit smaller by clicking on this button, the minus sign. I'm gonna make it smaller, click on the mutator, and I'm just gonna remove the else case. Or otherwise, there'll be errors in my app, and I do not want that. So now, the last code, everyone must be so happy that this is the last code. I know, even I'm feeling like that. So button 1, which is tap to calculate, just when tap to calculate dot click do, just get that over there. Any doubts or queries?
Simone?
Yes.
Rishit Sharma has told her how to delete the else block. How to delete.
Okay, I'll just repeat that again. I'll just add the else one. Oh dear. Let me just add it. Okay. So now if I want to delete the else one, I just make this smaller by clicking on this button. And I want to erase this as I don't want errors in my code. So I'm just going to click on the mutator button. And this else button over here at the bottom, I'm just going to take it and put it over there. There, it's removed. Rishit, do you want me to repeat that again, or are you clear?
You can type Y if you're clear. Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna move on. So now the shortest code. Oh, everyone must be so happy. The shortest and the last code. Go to procedures. Everyone, this is the shortest, not as long as the purple one. And just get call procedure. There, done. That's the end. Now we are finished with the coding. Soon you will have your BMI calculated in your palm. Before we end today's session, I will guide you how to install this app on your Android phone. So we're just going to click on designer button. Then we have my projects, connect, build, settings, and help at the top. If everyone is clear with this, please drop a Y in the chat box. As if you want, I can repeat
Excuse me. Here, Rishi Sharma tells that how to add the procedure, the last one. From where to add this last one, as my network was gone.
Okay, that's not a problem. So, Rishit, did you see the part when I added the button? When tap to calculate, click do? Please unmute and say. Or not a problem, I'll just repeat the whole thing once.
No.
Okay, I'll just repeat the whole thing once again. So I just scroll down and the button, which is tap to calculate. Let me just show you what button it is. This one, calculate. There's a try again and calculate button. So the calculate one. So just go back to the blocks and I'm going to take tap to calculate dot click do. Just place it over here, which is the first button. Then I'll be scrolling up and the last over here, which is procedures. I'm just going to click on that and there'll be 3 blocks. Take the last one, which is call procedure. I'm just going to drag it and put it right over there. Rishit, this was the end of the coding. Now, before you leave, I just want to show you how you can send this app to your Android phone. So I'll just go to designer, which is this part. And if you have your Android phone beside you, please connect it with the USB cord to the computer, laptop, sorry. And I'll just wait for a while as some may not have the USB cord, so they can just run and get it. I'll wait for just a minute. So I just want to teach you how to take the app, how to transfer the app onto your Android phone. As you can see, it's functional. As it'll be functional and you can calculate your BMI. So has everyone got the USB cord? As I'll be continuing.
Please drop a Y in the chat box.
And if any query till now, please drop the query in the chat box as I can answer them.
Okay, you can continue, Simone.
Okay, so we're just gonna scroll up and at the top of your screen, you will see MIT App Inventor, the label. And then beside that, my projects, connect, build, settings, and help. So we're just gonna click on build. You'll get 2 options, app, provide QR code for APK. And the second is save APK to my computer. So we're just gonna click on the second option, which is app, save APK to my computer. Just click on that. Then it'll come check BMI progress bar. compiling part 2. Please wait. Then compiling part 1. Don't worry, it'll take a bit, it'll take few minutes, but you can transfer the app to your phone and you can calculate your BMI. So even I'm gonna wait right here.
And if you don't have a USB port, then you can do one thing. You can build QR code for APK and scan that from your phone.
So I'm just gonna wait for a while. Once it's downloaded, you can transfer it to your phone. The most important thing is to connect the phone with the laptop through the USB cord. Now, after this, we will be going to File Explorer, where it'll show where you've downloaded or saved things, such as images, graphics, etc. From there, we will have this check BMI. Just right click on it. You'll get a whole menu such as cut, copy, delete, rename. So you'll find an option which will be send to. Then when you click on it, you don't need to click on it. You just keep your cursor on it and you'll get a whole options of devices connected to your laptop. Then you'll find your Android phone. So just send it to your Android phone. Hope I managed to help you build your app. Thank you everyone for being here today. Thank you Prateek sir. Thank you Aaradhaya.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Prateek sir, for your guidance.
So thank you, Simone and Aaradhaya. It was a really wonderful session. And I really appreciate your efforts that you made to teach the other fellows to design this application. I hope even everyone has enjoyed this session. We would request if you can leave your feedbacks in the chat box for Aaradhaya and Simone. And in case you have any doubt, you feel free to ask. And even now, you guys have the option to unmute your mic. You can leave your feedbacks in the chat box for Aaradhaya and Simone. And for any questions, you can use the chat box.
Ashish, actually my app was compiling, so that's why I didn't pause my screen sharing. I was just telling you the steps as even the time limit is over, so you can do it by yourself.
So those students who are not from Makers Duniya, I'm sharing a link with you. That's our WhatsApp group community. If you want, you can be the part of that group, and where we keep on posting new sessions and courses. So I'm just sharing that link with you, and please do leave your feedbacks. We will be organizing more sessions on different topics, and tomorrow we will have a session on Python programming. So those who are aware about Python programming, they can attend tomorrow's session. The entire video has been published